Welcome to Integrity Inspire, your daily dose of inspiration and motivation, featuring the bright and talented members of the Integrity Marketing Group family. Now, here's your host, Integrity co-founder and CEO, Brian W. Adams.
Well, hello, everybody. Thanks so much for joining today's Inspire podcast. We have a special edition of the Inspire podcast today. We have another huge announcement I want to share with you. But before I do, I want to say thank you for our entire team for having so much fun with spring training. We're in the final weeks of spring training, so be sure to complete all your training. But I want to thank all of our team for having so much fun and really working to make sure that we're compliant in all aspects of our business. Now, last week, we had an incredible announcement of bringing in a new leader, Mr. Tom Dempsey, as our new Chief Distribution Officer. And if you watch that Inspire podcast, you can understand why we're so excited to have Tom leading the overall distribution of Integrity going forward. He had so much to share. He's such an accomplished leader for us, but he's also just a great guy. And if you missed his rapping skills, you got to go back and watch it because they were and are legit. And we know that we will continue to need new leaders that will step up and rise up to the occasion to help us continue to grow and accelerate throughout the future. And there's so much opportunity ahead of us that I truly believe that we're just getting started. And I mean that in every way. And so as we brought on Tom, we were looking to bring on an expert in Medicare distribution and also ACA distribution. I mean really Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, ACA, and ancillary plans to make sure that we have great leadership across the board to help us with our carrier partners, with our distribution partners and the integrity partners, and also helping us grow all the agents and agencies in the field. And so we launched a search to help us find the best leader in the industry for this role. And I have actually even engaged some of our partners to help in that search to make sure that we were finding the perfect leader, the most accomplished leader to help us lead the Integrity Health team going forward. And as part of that search process, it became apparent that we had a leader as a partner already who was the leading expert in Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, ACA plans, ancillary plans, and otherwise, and had already proven themselves as a leader here at Integrity, and they were the most accomplished inside and outside of the organization. And so I'm so excited to announce that Ryan Kimble, who is a managing partner at Agent Pipeline, we've asked him to step up into a newly created role as president of Integrity Health. And so now Ryan Kimble will work on helping all of our business leaders grow and all of our carrier partners grow to take advantage of everything we have to offer here at the Integrity platform as the new president of Integrity Health. He'll also be working with Tom Dempsey, our Chief Distribution Officer, to make sure that we're coordinating all of our efforts and looking for ways to grow across the board, including cross-marketing efforts. And he will continue to keep a close eye on his other business unit at Agent Pipeline, but he will really spend the majority of his time really helping all of our partners grow their business and make sure that we maximize this opportunity that we have here at Integrity. And I believe that you won't find a more passionate individual about integrity, about leading from the front, and truly about the health insurance industry. He's spent his entire career in the health insurance industry, and he is always thinking about ways to help innovate and enhance our health insurance efforts. Ryan is here with us today, and this is the second time, actually the third time, he's been on the Inspire podcast. He was one of our first ever guests. He used to give me a hard time about these taking too long, so I invited him to join us. And his segment took so long, we had to split it into two segments, into 2 different days. But today we're going to keep it short and sweet because he's got a lot of work ahead of him, especially as we're getting ready for everything here at Integrity, and it's certainly the annual enrollment period that's coming up. And so the passion and enthusiasm that I've been talking about with Ryan, I think all of you are going to feel here in just a minute. I think it's going to be a huge asset for him in his new role as the president of Integrity Health. So with that being said, Ryan, I want to say thank you for stepping up. It was one of those things. I remember you and I were at dinner. We were talking about the leader that we need. And as part of that dinner, I said, you are the perfect fit for this. We need, and fortunately, you answered that call. So I'm just so honored and proud to be here with you, my friend, and excited to have you leading the Integrity Health side going forward.
Brian, thank you, brother. I'm excited to be on my third call with you, and even more honored that you asked me to step up and take a larger role with Integrity and be in a position to take over and move forward with this aspect. And obviously, it's an honor to work with you and Tom and the rest of the team in really trying to drive greater connections with all the partners and trying to help all of them continue to grow their businesses. And couldn't be more excited. It's great to finally be able to kind of announce it to the world and let everybody know what's going on. And I am thrilled that we are at this day, brother.
Well, hey, listen, we're the ones that are thrilled and honored. And one of the things I believe in wholeheartedly here is servant leadership. And I can't paint a picture of a more appropriate servant leader than you. You know, we talk a lot about on Inspire that the two keys of success we've really extrapolated from all of our partners here is that they're humble and hardworking. And I believe that fits you to a T. People who are really humble and really here to come alongside of you and serve, but also willing to outwork anybody. And I loved your email to me the other day when you said, no one will outwork me. And that's what I am so excited about is whenever we can all come together, rise up. That's what it takes to take advantage of this opportunity. Now, the last time you were on the Inspire podcast, you talked a lot about your personal background, but that's been over 2 years ago. And we've added a lot of partners, a lot of people to the Integrity family since then. So would you mind just kind of going back through and telling them about your personal journey in the insurance business and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So I appreciate it. So real quick on kind of my background. So grew up in West Virginia. Obviously, that's where my father, Larry, started Agent Pipeline back in 1988 and really ran an individual and group brokerage office for 10 years. In 96, I graduated high school in 94, went to Liberty University. And in 96, I got my insurance license. So I started working for him 2 years into college. And then when I got done in 98, came back to West Virginia and really just picked up what he was doing and started in the individual under age 65 space and the overage space and started working with agents and agencies in both markets. And honestly, you know, back to your introduction and what you said, I'm obviously extremely appreciative of our relationship and what we're able to talk about and some of the passions I have in my life, both personally and professionally. But I think one of the main driving force that I have, at least when I first started in the business, was to make my dad proud of what I was doing. And I think that that's really carried through as we look at like not wanting to disappoint anyone in the amount of work, effort, strategy, time, and attention you put into whatever task there is. And at least for me, is what I felt was like a firm foundation and what was really a starting point for my career was looking up to my dad and saying, man, you have put me in this position and nobody is going to outwork me or try to do more than I can do to try to help grow this business. So with that said, we had a great start. I did individual medical and group for a couple of years. And then we had an opportunity to get in the Medicare space. And so in 2000, we started promoting Medicare supplement products. And we took those out from really West Virginia to a few other states. And by the time we got to 2005, I had gotten married. So Debbie, I'm married with 2 kids. Debbie, which a lot of you know, is really a foundational element in my life. And she mentioned yesterday that we were getting ready to celebrate our 20th anniversary coming up. So that's exciting. And I can tell you for anybody out there, 20 years goes so fast. But we have 2 kids. We have a 15-year-old son named Jake and a 17-year-old daughter named Chloe. But we got married in the early 2000s, and she let me work a bunch and try to grow a company called Agent Pipeline and try to make something out of a great agency that my dad had started. But fortunately, we made some great decisions. We got in the Medicare space, grew that out, and were able to be in a position really 2.5 years ago to make the best career choice for myself, my dad, and my sister, and all the employees at Agent Pipeline. We partnered with Integrity. And it's been by far the best decision we can make from a business standpoint and a personal standpoint in the last 26 years I've been in the business.
Thank you for saying that. I look, I think it's been one of the best decisions we've made is by partnering with you guys. And first of all, happy anniversary. I'm super excited for you. And you have one of the sweetest wives in the world. And I hope you guys have an amazing 20th anniversary. Then I just was with your dad a couple of weeks ago, and I can tell you, Larry came up to me and said, I am just so proud of what we're all creating here at Integrity, and I'm so proud of Ryan and Laura. So I want you to know that I know he's super proud of you. And, you know, that bond between a father and a son is sometimes an interesting one, but, you know, that's one of the things I've always wanted to do is make my parents proud, which has been a big driver for me. And then part of that is making my family proud, and Integrity is part of my family. I know it is for you as well. And I think your background really speaks to the reason we wanted to ask you to step up into this new role. And we're excited to have you and Agent Pipeline originally joining Integrity, but also asking you to step up into this newly created role of President of Integrity Health is just a huge part of it. Now, as you said earlier, Agent Pipeline joined Integrity a little over, I think it was almost 2.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. What's that experience been like? And is there anything that really surprised you here?
You know, it's interesting you asked the question because, you know, as you come into any kind of new partnership, you're always wondering, like, what is it going to look like, you know, as we get this thing started? And honestly, it's been fantastic. We have a great staff at Agent Pipeline that have helped me and Laura and my dad create an amazing company. And through this partnership, we've been able to deliver back to them true ownership in Agent Pipeline and obviously the full Integrity platform. And I think through that one event was probably one of the most rewarding things we could have done with the business that we created. And I think that's kind of a legacy that we look back on now as something we've been able to do for all the folks that help us build Agent Pipeline over the years. But as we partnered with Integrity and came on board and went through the onboarding process, I think we remember COVID hit, and all of a sudden we went from having our first Medicare Council meeting in Dallas and an amazing event. And then, you know, less than 30 days later, we were sending everybody home. And the very first thing that happened that reinforced the message of why this was such a great partnership was initially was the conversation that you had with us individually about what steps we were going to take with COVID and how we were going to handle this and ultimately protect all the employees and keep our businesses operating. And then two, you know, obviously I'm a huge fan of Hirsch and what he's able to do on the tech side and have continued to be even a bigger fan over the last 2.5 years. But he and his team were able to get us from essentially 100% working from home to 100% working remote in less than 5 days. And for us to do that on our own would have been impossible. And I think through his help and his team and coordinating with some of the folks in my office, we were able to get that one thing done, which is a major lift. And then that just was really the tone that was set in the partnership. So every time we needed something, there was someone that would step up and help us either break down a wall, take care of something we couldn't get done on our own, but put us in a position to make Agent Pipeline and all the agencies and agents we support as successful as possible. So I think that for me was our first initial experience and the one that's continued. The other side of it, though, which is so personal to me, is the relationship that we all have as partners now, because we all ran our businesses and we all grew our companies and really had good friends in the space, people we knew and even worked with at different times. But now the feeling is we have such a much closer relationship that I can get on the phone with any of the partners, talk about hard issues, solve big problems, create more opportunity for all of us that we wouldn't have been able to do on our own. And I think that dynamic of trying to battle the world by yourself, that is a very fulfilling and part of building a business. But at some point, you want to be a part of a bigger team that you can play a really specific role in and contribute to the overall success. And that is where I am in my career today. And that is, probably one of the foundational reasons why, Brian, in that conversation, I told you I was all in. Like I am all in. I love the platform and I love what you've created and that what we've been able to take part of. And I'm here to say, man, I am going to do everything I can to carry this forward and continue to innovate in the insurance space and create opportunities for all the partners and everybody we serve, from carriers to agencies to the end consumer. So it's a fun day for me, and I'm a little bit excited. Hopefully it doesn't come out as crazy excited, but I'm a little bit excited about it, and I can only imagine where we'll take it from here.
Well, listen, this is why I'm so excited about having you lead from the front. I mean, you were already leading from the front, and so, making it more official was super important. And really bringing in Tom, I think, is a huge milestone for Integrity. I think it's one of those milestones that we'll look back on and say, when we brought in Tom and then we asked you to step as president of Integrity Health, and we're doing some other things as well, that these will be like transformational hockey stick moments where we're growing great, and then we're just going to rocket ship up and to the right. And I just really believe that this is such a pivotal moment for us as a business to really think about the holistic combination of life, health, and wealth, and looking for ways to better serve Americans with all of those needs. And we want to make sure that we can take full advantage of serving people. And that's why we're so thrilled to have you in this new role to help make sure we coordinate efforts. And you've done such an incredible job at Agent Pipeline, but this is now the moment that you have this opportunity to step up and think in a much bigger picture way to look at how do we certainly serve Agent Pipeline, but also help serve Premier and Copeland and all of the other incredible businesses that we have, Ritter and AGA and Berwick. And I could just keep on going because we've got so many other incredible partners. And since you've been around since, the early days, you'll be able to help pull together all the resources and support to work with all of our amazing carrier partners. And I can't speak highly enough about all of our incredible carrier partners that we have. And I know you'll be able to help coordinate all the leadership efforts needed by them to make sure that we're supporting and leading and maximizing this opportunity. I know that you've already put a lot of thought into this role. Can you tell us about why you accepted this opportunity and what excites you the most?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would maybe to go back on Tom for a second. I think that one with Tom, Brian, you could have not picked a better person for that role. He is everything we've talked about since I first met him, and looking at all of his past experience. I mean, he will be an amazing leader for Integrity and ultimately take us to places that he sees in his mind, and we are probably things that we don't know yet. And I'm excited to not only work with him, but be a part of what he's going to create inside the platform. So for me, I'm excited. So on stage last week, I think you heard me. I said, start sending me everything you got. And this was to all the managing partners.
When you were saying that, I was like, oh my God, be careful what you ask for.
so if I could look at the timing of the text that started to roll through, I think as soon as you said my name, about 6 partners started sending me texts on things that we needed to work on and they would to do. And what I realized, from that speech and the ability to start asking for those things is 2 things. One, we have as a platform some amazing opportunities. And I think that our ability to really bring all those opportunities together and bring partners together to take advantage of them will lead us to where we're headed from a success perspective. And the other thing that probably I didn't realize it at this point, because I knew it going into it, is that we have some incredibly smart partners that have tons of history in this space. And when you're trying to look at kind of the best team, we have it here at Integrity, and that's probably one of the most rewarding things that I can be a part of is to really jump in the trenches with them and help take some of these opportunities to the next level and just make it a fantastic experience for all the partners, all the carriers that we have, and at the end of the day, all the agents and agencies that we serve. So super excited to be a part of that role and to be able to help take the vision that we have and deliver that out to all the consumers that we have out there.
Well, that's what it's all about, is looking for ways to serve others, help pull it all together, and look for ways to help more people with their health insurance needs. And whether that's Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, ACA plans, hospital indemnity, and other plans, we want to make sure that people are getting the most out of their health care. And at Integrity, I don't think that there's many people who can do it as well as we can, especially holistically. And with you leading as the new president of the Integrity Health Division, and then certainly working with Tom, I think we're going to serve a lot more people and really be able to help our carrier partners grow, help our agents and agencies grow. And I know that you'll help us as the new president of Integrity Health fulfill that mission to improve the experience for all of our agencies, carriers, and consumers alike. And like you, I've been in this business for over 2 decades, and I've never been more excited about what the future holds. Having you lead and help drive the health business is a huge win for us here at Integrity. And I can't imagine another leader that would be more well-suited to help pull it all together. And I can't wait to see what you and all the other great leaders here at Integrity will accomplish by working together to bring life, health, and wealth solutions to all Americans. And so we are incredibly proud and honored to have you. I want to thank you for stepping up. I think it's a call for all of us, including myself. I think about this all the time. Like, I don't want to let you down, Ryan. It's one of those things I think this is where great partnerships come in hand. Is if we think about, I don't want to let Ryan and Tom and all of us down. Like, I can go through a list of thousands of people. I don't want to let Kimble down. I don't want to let anybody down. I'm going to work harder because I want us all to maximize this opportunity and realize our full potential. And so I am just so honored to have you step up. And I think we all need to step up in a bigger way to help serve more people, but also make sure that we all maximize this as shareholders together, this incredible opportunity that we have together. And so I'm excited to announce this externally. We're announcing it internally now. I'm excited to announce this externally as early as this morning. We're going to be sending that out. So please be watching for the press release for everybody that will go out. But I think this is going to be one of those moments that we look back on and say, man, when we announced Ryan Kimble as the president of Integrity Health, we were able to serve more people and grow faster and realize their full potential more than we ever could. And so thank you for answering the call, my friend. I'm so proud to be your partner. I love you more than you know, and I love your heart. I love your friendship, and I love your passion for this business and serving others. So we're going to do some great things together. So congratulations, man. Thank you for serving others.
Thank you, Brian. I'm honored, and I would say ready to get started, but that happened when I gave the speech. So we were well under our way.
Well, it's exciting days here at Integrity. And this is what it's all about, is everybody stepping up, doing more together, accomplishing more than we could ever accomplish on our own. And rising tide truly does raise all boats. And this is another example of us all being in this incredible journey together to help serve more people. So thank you again. I hope everybody has an incredible rest of the week. And I can't wait to make this announcement as Ryan Kimble is the new president of Integrity Health. God bless you all. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.